Welcome to Impact Makers Radio, featuring industry thought leaders sharing problem-solving insights to help grow your business and live the life you love. And here's your host, Stuart Andrew Alexander.
Hi, and welcome to another Let's Talk Divorce conversation. And during this segment of the show, ladies and gentlemen, I have life coach Nadia Themis of the Nadia Themis Coach company all the way from New York. New York, so good they named it twice. Anyway, Nadia, who has a wealth of experience in the area of life coaching, will be talking to you today about 3 ways to bounce back from your divorce. Now, that sounds like a really interesting topic, so I can't wait to bring her onto the show. So let me ask you this. Are you one of the increasing amounts of people considering your options for divorce in the New York area? If that's so, if that sounds like you, and if you can relate to what I just asked you, it might be a good idea just to stop what you're doing. Down tools, log out of Facebook, Twitter, or anything else you happen to be doing. Grab yourself a notepad and pen and get ready to take some notes as we listen into what Nadia has to share with us today. So with that said, she's a very busy lady. Let's not keep her waiting any longer. Welcome to the show, Nadia.
Hi, Stuart. Thank you for having me on the show. It's a big honor for me. Thank you.
You are so welcome, my dear. So let's just make the best use of our time. We have about 15 or 20 minutes. Briefly, in your own words, Nadia, describe the kinds of people who you serve and the various types of situations they find themselves in when they reach out to you for your help.
Yeah, and actually we have many kinds of people that are concentrating on divorce. And, you get married and no one wants to get divorced, right? You have the dream of your life. You want to be rehab there forever. So when you reach to the point to get divorced, be divorcing, it's very painful procedure. And especially for the people that it wasn't their decision, So because we have 2 kinds of people, the people that make the decision, the people that have to agree with the decision of the other person. So these people, the people that I serve, are the people that usually they lost their way to life, they lost their belief, their faith, and we have a lot of issues of low self-confidence and loss of control. So they need to, most of them usually, Stuart, and it's very sad, they lose even their jobs and they are totally helpless. So these people totally need help because divorce is just an experience. It's not our whole life. It's just an experience. And life, it's all about experiences, right?
Absolutely. Totally agree with you on that. And thank you for sharing letting us know who you help. So now we have a better idea moving forward. Let me just share this with you then, Nadia. Before you do share anything else with us from this point on, it's very important to let everybody know that anything that you do share with us today is not legal advice or legal assistance. It's purely for the purpose of sharing information. Can we both agree on that today then, Nadia?
Yes, of course, yeah. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So with that said then, when you think about all of those people who you help, what's the most common misconception you come across while you're out there helping those people on a day-to-day basis?
The biggest misconception is that my life is done.
Right.
That I got divorced and I lost the love of my life. Or sometimes they lost their financial security too, because many cases I help women that the man was the provider of the house, of the funds of the house. So that left them, with no funding, no security. So this creates, to feel very uncomfortable and insecure. And feeling secure, believe me, it's a very negative feeling. So the biggest misconception, I believe, that is that you life is done. What I'm saying to them is that life is not done. Life is just beginning.
Okay, so let's expand on that a little bit then, Nadia. So based on what you just shared with us, and obviously keeping your client's confidentiality in mind, please share an example or even a case study, so to speak, of how you have helped, or even how you would go about helping somebody who came to you with those challenges, with that misconception you just described, and what kind of transformational results you were able to or would be able to gain for them.
Yeah. Yes, as you said, I will not share names or that because it's our job is based on confidentiality.
Sure.
So, yes, once I had, I will use just the name Martha, let's say, which is not. But so she came. She had 2 children. At that time, his children were 7 and 2. So obviously, she divorced. It was her husband's decision. Her husband had a girlfriend, so actually the third person was the reason. Of course, in order to reach to a divorce, we won't analyze that now, but in order to reach a divorce, there are many reasons behind that. It's not just the third person. But taking that example of Martha, so she came to me. She had 2 children. She was really, really desperate. She lost her job because she couldn't concentrate. So, business is business. So her boss said to her, Martha, I do feel you. I feel the empathy. I feel very sorry for you, but I cannot have you as my employee because you're costing money to the business. So she lost her job. She lost her security, which was her husband, and the father of the children. So she came to me very desperate. And she said to me, Nadia, I'm not feeling good. I feel that I lost everything in my life. And maybe I don't even love my children. I noted down all what she was feeling because coaching is a lot about emotions. So we worked together for a few months. And what we did together with Martha, my advice to her was to embrace, because it's important to understand and embrace what is happening to us. I mean, by ignoring the facts will not help us to move forward. And my mission with her was to realize that her life is just begun. And it will be much greater, actually, because after any experience we have, we become wiser. As long as we are able to see the reason behind of what has happened and our responsibility too. So after a few months, we had our sessions with my guidance and with your efforts. We end up that she got another job. She loved again her children. Maybe that sounds to you, too much, but really, for a few months, she didn't love. She loved her children, but she couldn't realize what treasure had in her hands, because children, it's our treasure, and they provide to our value. They are not baggage, but they provide value. They give value to our lives. So we did that. We managed to realize for her that they give value to our lives, because seeing the children as an emotional baggage, negative baggage, and that they were the problem in order for her to move forward. It was a big problem for her to move forward as a person. So that was very important for me to help her understand the value of her children.
Fantastic.
So a few months later, with our sessions, she managed to revalue her relationship with her children. She managed to get a job. And even after 1 year, I must say that she had a relationship.
Well, that's a great example, a great case study. And I'm so glad you went into so much detail so that our listeners can, get an idea of how you've actually helped somebody who had that misconception of, my life is over. Oh my God, I'm getting divorced.
Yeah.
It's over and done with. So thank you so much for sharing that, with us today, Nadia. So let me ask you this then, Nadia. You mentioned the topic. Your topic for today is 3 ways to bounce back from divorce. Could you then just briefly explain what those 3 ways are?
Yes, of course. 3 ways are: embrace your sorrow, as I said before to our example. And what do we mean by saying embrace your sorrow? It means that if we understand what is going on in our life, and embrace it and accept what we are facing. Embrace the fact that we are getting divorced. Embrace the fact that from now on I will be on my own. And embrace that, feel the sorrow, let yourself a certain period of time to grieve. Okay? So you forgive yourself and forgive the other. And then this is the first step. Because to be aware of what is going on in my life, to be aware why this happened, embrace, grieve. And as I always say, you have the 3, like the 3 ways now, but you have also the 3 that you put a deadline to your sorrow. Because we need to put a deadline in our sorrow. We need to control it, because if we let ourselves, uncontrolled, that might go for 1 year, 2 years, or who knows. Mm-hmm. But if you say that, for 3 months, for example, 3 weeks, 3 minutes is too little, I think. So let's say 3 hours, again, it's little, so let's say 3 weeks or 3 months. I don't want you to say 3 years. So 3 months, let's say, you say that, I will embrace, I will feel, I will try to reflect what happened to my life and embrace yourself for that. For after these 3 months, though, you say, you know what, deadline of my sorrow is over. Now I need to move forward. Then after the embrace, then you have forgiveness. You need, because since you are aware of what happened and your responsibility and the other person's responsibilities, then you have forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself, first of all, because many times we blame ourselves. We must forgive ourselves, even for mistakes that we have done. It's fine. We are not perfect. We are human beings, and we are allowed to do mistakes, The point is to learn from our mistakes and move wiser. And forgive the other person, too. Because holding a grudge against the other person, unfortunately, this does not allow you to move forward. It keeps you back.
And point number 3?
Point number 3 is to learn. I say here that in our life, we need to be a lifetime student. We need to learn from our past. We need to learn from our present, because by present, we are creating the future. After 1 minute passing now, it's our future, right? Mm-hmm. So we need to learn. We need to be uncountable, and we need to be responsible towards us.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that with us, Nadia. I'm kind of curious, Nadia, how long have you been a practicing life coach? How many years?
It's been now 5 years.
Okay, so in those 5 years of being a life coach, when you think back to all the people that you have been able to help, what's most important to you about being in a position to help your clients to achieve their desired outcomes?
I must say that for me, seeing the people moving forward, because I've been there, Stuart, I am divorced. I'm a single mom. Mm-hmm. I have 2 children. So I've been there, and I know how it feels like, to feel that you're losing the earth below your ground. I know. So when I am in the position and I'm able to help people to move forward and see them smile again, and see them get married again, because, I'm very much in favor of marriage. It's not about marriage issues. It's people's issues, So when I see these people moving forward, and like Martha, for example, we said before that after a year she got the relationship, she got a promotion to her job after a few years. I mean, for me, this is my reward. This is happiness, and that's my calling. And I'm very, very happy that I can do this for people.
So while we're on the topic of, Nadia Themis, while we're talking about you, could you spend a brief moment sharing a little bit about your background, your formal education, and your experience as it relates to today's topic? So if you could just, if you could do that for us, Nadia, real briefly, then that would be great for our listeners. Thank you.
Funny, but I was global financial advisor for a long, long time. My first academic education was in business management, then finance, then I did law, and then I did my MBA in corporate law. So I was for many years in the stock market, and then I was as a global tax and financial advisor. The last 7 years, though, I felt the urge to, when I had my experience with my divorce, it was in 2008. I had that experience, and that moment I realized, after a year, I realized how many people they are facing these issues, And I was strong enough, and I had a coach back then. And I said that, you know what, I want to show to people that no matter what you are facing, no matter the feeling that you have that moment that you are divorcing, that you lost everything, you lost your cause, you have no purpose in life, that no, you have a purpose in life. The purpose in life is you, it's us, not someone else, it's us. And we need to find that inner peace inside us. And because I felt that in my bone back 2008 to 2009, and my divorce, it was then is the case. And so, it was a very, very hard divorce. And that made me to shift from finance to coaching. So I did my certification in International Coaching Academy. And I was also nominated for award in the European Mentoring Coaching Council Committee as the best individual coach for 2015. And since then, I am in coaching. I'm a global coach. Actually, I'm traveling in many countries around the world, like United States, obviously, Dubai, Europe, London, Spain, Italy, in many, many countries. And believe me, Stuart, this thing about how we feel about divorce, relationships, and all that, it's a universal issue.
Sure.
We are facing the same problem in any country we are.
So, Nadia, for those people who have been listening in right now, and for the people who will be listening in the future as this show goes online, what final thoughts would you like to leave them with before we move on to our last question for today?
I would like to leave them with this, that divorce is an experience, okay? And it's an experience that preparing us for our next experience, which is a very new beginning. And you know what, Stuart? It's our second chance, or maybe even the third, depends how many times you are divorced. It's your chance to rebuild yourself. I mean, mistakes that you did in the past. For example, me, I did mistakes in my marriage. Of course I did. So I'm trying to rebuild it now, a better self, a better version of myself. So go out there and see that as your opportunity for a new, better version of yourself. It's up to you, and you can do it. You can do it.
Thank you so much for that, Nadia. So finally, if there is someone out there who feels that they want to know more about, what you've been speaking about today, bouncing back from their divorce, if that's the case, what's the best way for them to connect with you? How would they find you?
I am in all social media, Nadia Themis in LinkedIn, Nadia Themis in Facebook, Nadia Themis Coach in Instagram, Nadia at nadiathemis.com. It's my email, and my website is nadiathemis.com. So just send me a message, and I will be there for you. Because you know what? It's by supporting each other we keep moving forward.
I totally agree with that, Nadia. And, I wish we had more time, but we are limited with the time that we have. And unfortunately, we do have to go at this point. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you once again, we have been listening to life coach Nadia Themis. Thank you so much for sharing so generously with us today, Nadia. You have certainly demonstrated that you are a true educator and advocate for your client's success. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Stuart. Have a great day.
Thanks to you as well, Nadia, but I'd even like to say a bigger thank you to you. Yes, you, the listener. Without you, we wouldn't have anybody to talk to. So yeah, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to join us. So that's it for today, folks. Again, my name is Stuart Andrew Alexander, and we'll be back shortly with some more leading divorce professionals in this, our series of Let's Talk Divorce Conversations. So, until then, take care, have a great day, and we'll talk real soon.
Thank you for tuning in to Impact Makers Radio. To listen to all past, present and future industry thought leaders and trendsetters, visit us at impactmakersradio.com.